The Dogs, in association with the British Greyhound Racing Board.
Hello and welcome to a special Christmas edition of The Dogs. We're at the home of three-time champion trainer Charlie Lister. A little later in the programme we'll relive some of his major successes of the year and talk to the great man himself. Well, 2006 also saw the launch of Top Dog, a new BGRB initiative with over £100,000 in prize money up for grabs. Now, one trainer set out his stall to win the Top Dog races and the major prizes with it, including, for good measure, the Greyhound Derby. His name, Nick Sava.
Westmead Kennels in Bedfordshire, one of the most historic and famous greyhound establishments in the world and the home of Nick Sava. Last year's Greyhound Derby final victory by Westmead Hawk was just the start of quite an unbelievable 18 months for this son of Sonic Flight. His uncanny trackcraft and stunning late runs made him the People's Champion, and he returned from winter rest for the Trainers' Championship at Wimbledon. To come round the final bend, Shelbourne Nina the leader here. Oh, she stumbled a little bit round the bend. Westmead Hawk's onside and goes on. Shelbourne Nina's gone lame. Track 5, Westmead Hawk goes on to win here from 1 in second place. Fear me. Next stop for the Hawk was Glasgow's Shorefield Stadium and the Scottish Derby final, where Fear Me reopposed, and this time it was Charlie Lister's dog that triumphed. An encouraging run from the Hawk, who may not have been particularly suited to the track, yet only failed narrowly to add the Scottish Derby to his 2005 English title. The Wimbledon Derby next, and an astonishing run in the semi-finals. All eyes on the Hawk in trap 4. Away they go. He's got a good start up towards the first bend, and trap 2. Miniola Farlow leads up early from Cleanest Lady on the inside. After these comes a trap 6 on the outside. Ballymac Pires. Westmead Hawk is last at the moment and plenty on his plate. Heading down the far side. Miniola Farlow by 4 lengths from Cleanest Lady. Racing in second place. Westmead Hawk is moving up into third as we speak to come round the final bend. Miniola Farlow by 2.5 lengths. Westmead Hawk is closing. Oh my God! He got up! Westmead Hawk rattled home and got up right on the line to beat trap 2, Miniola Farlow. What a run! Hardened dogmen were left scratching their heads. Some were in tears of joy after that performance. Look how far behind the Hawk was at the second bend, but Bob Morton's pride and joy just doesn't know when he's beat. What an unbelievable run from Westmead Hawk. June the 3rd, the final of the William Hill Greyhound Derby, and the fans flocked to southwest London to see their hero. Up against him in trap 1 was the only bitch in the final, Cleaner's Lady, trained by Terry Dartnell. In 2, Miniola Farlow for Ireland's Seamus Graham. Westmead Hawk's three-quarter brother, Westmead Joe, ran from trap 3, a second finalist for Sava and Morton. The reigning champion, Westmead Hawk, was in trap 4, sent off at 4 to 7. Graham Calvert's find of the Derby, Amarillo Slim, lined up in trap 5, and the outsider of the field, Clash Derby at 33 to 1, was in 6. Here comes the hare, away we go, and Miniola Farlow breaks fast. Westmead Hawk got a good start. Amarillo Slim's rushing up as they come up towards the first bend, and going round it, Miniola Farlow with a 2.5 length lead over Amarillo Slim, racing in second. After these comes Westmead Hawk, lying in third place. Then comes Cleanest Lady as they come round the second last bend. It's still Miniola Farlow in front. Westmead Hawk's moving on the inside of Amarillo Slim. The writing surely on the wall. Miniola Farlow with Westmead Hawk lunging late. He's got there again. He's an icon. He's fantastic. He's superlative. He is Westmead Hawk. The 5,000 or so crowd realised it had witnessed something very special that night. And once again, the Hawk had displayed superb trackcraft to weave his way through the field and pounce late to catch the gallant Miniola Farlow in the shadow of the winning post.
Nick, that was absolutely fantastic.
I'm out of breath at the moment. My heart is beating fast. It was... You can't
He's a dog in a million, Nick, isn't he?
You can't get better than that. It's unbelievable. Thank you.
Yes, an amazing race from Westmead Hawk, beating a very brave Miniola Farlow in second place. So for owner and trainer, obvious delight at Hawk's second Derby victory. Westmead Hawk, only the 4th greyhound to win back-to-back derbies, but what a way to keep his title, unbeaten in 2006, and coming from off the pace in every single race. Further success in 2006 for Savile and Morton with Westmead Joe, 4th in the Derby. Westmead Joe hit the headlines in March in the final of the William Hill Blue Riband at Hall Green. They head down the far side. Greenlock Power, the leader, around the 3rd bend. Westmead Joe trying to mix it in with the others. He's in 3rd as they come around the final bend. It's 5 Greenlock Power, 2 K's Quest. Here comes 6 Westmead Joe flying at the end. Westmead Joe, he's become a man. Westmead Joe wins the Blue Ribbon final. His first all-age race victory, Joe went on to win the Produce Stakes at Swindon and the Gold Cup at Monmore. Mr. Fahrenheit now taken on by Westmead Joe, who sees daylight now and he kicks on. Westmead Joe wins. Westmead Olivia second. Back in front, Roxholm Ryan. Westmead Joe flying around the final bend. It's Westmead Joe who's going to deliver a win here. Westmead Joe wins from Clash On. And Nick Savile wasn't finished there because Westmead Joe's sisters were to prove just as effective on the open race scene. The Prestige Stakes at Hall Green saw a duel between Westmead Olivia in 5 and the more fancied sister, Westmead AOIFA, in 6.
As they come down the straight first time then, and Westmead Olivia up on the outside of Rio Limo. They've now moved on by 2 or 3 lengths. Westmead AOIFA has moved into a menacing position in 3rd. Then Ted Sanker and Black Magic Guy is out in last place. They're down the back. Westmead Olivia by 2 or 3 lengths from Rio Limo. Then further back and making ground now is Westmead AOIFA. They're off the final bend. Westmead Olivia now within a length. Westmead AOIFA. It's the 2 sisters for Prestige Glory. Olivia's in front. Westmead Olivia holding on to beat Westmead AOIFA back in second. It's a 1-2 for Nick Savile in the Prestige.
Olivia winning that battle, but in the St. Ledger at Wimbledon, she just failed to catch Charlie Lister's Ninja Blue, going down in a photo finish. She ended the year with 41 top dog points, just 1 behind her brother, Westmead Joe. AOIFA's year began with that narrow defeat in the Prestige final, but she got revenge on her sister in the Summer Stayers Classic final at Monmore. Passing the judge circuit to go, and Westmead Olivia out in front with Lady Ashling. They're 2 lengths clear. Making a move now comes Westmead AOIFA up into 3rd. After these comes Jordan's Glory, and Blonde Chance is now last. Coming down towards the penultimate turn, and Westmead Olivia a length and a half to the good over Lady Ashling. But closing all the time is Westmead AOIFA. We're into the latter stages. Westmead Olivia a bit wide. Westmead AOIFA through on the inside. It's going to be mighty tight between the Westmeads. AOIFA's got there. Westmead AOIFA beats Westmead Olivia. Perhaps AOIFA's most impressive victory came in the Select Stayer Stakes. Second last bend, and it's Greenacre Lynn by 2 lengths, but Westmead AOIFA's trying to whittle away. Greenacre Lynn, Westmead AOIFA serving up to the Nottingham public. Greenacre Lynn saving ground on the inside, but Westmead AOIFA staying stronger. Westmead AOIFA wins, going away by 2 lengths from a brave Greenacre Lynn, and back in 3rd, headed on Jordan. AOIFA's last top dog event of 2006 came in the Essex VASE final at Romford. She had to finish in the first 2 to win the inaugural series and earn her owner a cool £50,000. Here comes the hare. They're off racing towards the first bend, and it's 4 Public Casino that broke the best here. Eye on the Veto having to play second fiddle at the moment. Then comes 1 Wellington Spot lying in 3rd. Get back to 6 Blissful Classic. The pace is too hot for Ninja Blue and also Westmead AOIFA as expected. As they go round the 3rd and 4th turns now, Eye on the Veto's taken over. No room for Wellington Spot. Eye on the Veto from Public Casino. After these are moving up into 3rd now, Westmead AOIFA, but she's still got a lot to do. They come round the second last bend. Eye on the Veto leading here by 2.5 lengths over 3 Westmead AOIFA. Off in chase and now flying as the line comes up. Eye on the Veto's pulling out more to win by length from Westmead AOIFA in second. Back in 3rd with Trap. So that runner-up spot good enough to earn 7 points and move AOIFA to first place in the top dog table for 2006. A point ahead of Westmead Joe, a further point behind to Westmead Olivia. A real exhilarating finish to the top dog table in 2006, fought out between the littermates.
You know, we're quite stunned and really pleased the way that Nick has handled the bitch through her career. She's you know, she's run with the best. She's beaten some of the best and been runner-up to some of the best. And I think it's a credit to the way she's been handled and the way she's been bred and reared.
Well, what an incredible year for Nick Savva and the wonderful Westmead. Coming up after the break, we'll turn our attention to the 2006 champion trainer, Charlie Lister. Well, welcome back to the Dogs. We're at the kennels, the Madras kennels of champion trainer Charlie Lister. Let's pop inside and see what the great man thinks about what has been a fantastic year.
One of Charlie's most exciting wins this year surely came in the St Ledger final at Wimbledon.
Ninja Blue out in front from 6, Blissful Classic. Westmead Olivia's trying to find a way past, can't at the moment. Then comes 3, Black Magic Guy, Fabulous Sophie, and well at the back is Daisyfield Shawnee that come round the final turn. Ninja Blue taken on by Westmead Olivia on this near side. Westmead Olivia, Ninja Blue. Oh, it's close, too close to call.
That shortest of short heads won't have done Charlie's ticker any good, but what sort of year has it been?
A bit in and out, really. We won the Scottish Derby beginning of the year, and then we had a run where we had quite a few injuries and different things happened, and it went a bit slack for us. And then the last 4 or 5 months we've sent to come back, you know.
Would you say the Scottish Derby was the highlight of the year, or can you pick out anything else?
Yeah, I mean, the Scottish Derby were nice. It's nice to win the Scottish Derby, but I won the East Anglian Derby, and that's a race which I've won it 8 times. So it's a race that I look forward to going to Yarmouth and running in it.
So does winning the title back satisfy Charlie Lister's ambition, or will the lure of that 5th Derby keep you going?
Yes, I think the Derby is a race that every trainer wants to win, and I mean I would like to win it again. And at the moment, I'm as keen to win a big race as ever I was, So it'd be nice to win it again. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm going to keep going forever, but while I feel in this mood at the moment, how I feel, and that I'm still keen to win races, and I enjoy my dogs. I'll just go a bit longer. I mean, as you know, everybody knows that when I finish, Chris will be taking over. Mm-hmm. So, and I'll just kind of, not actually retire, but I'd like to just have a kennelland's license and odd times go and watch them run and things like that. So, I wouldn't like to go out of the sport really altogether. As long as I can keep getting about and doing what I can do, that's really what I want to do.
Now, if we had this interview 10 years ago, I would say that to you, greyhound racing and getting winners was an obsession, but you had the health scare, and there's been a more relaxed Charlie Lister ever since.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I had that health scare about 3 years ago, and, when you get that sort of thing happen to you, it does frighten you. But, I feel well in myself, and, at the moment I'm still got that buzz to win big races. I mean,
you still enjoy going racing?
Oh, I love dog racing. I mean, it's in my blood. I don't think I'd ever get out of it, and I do love it. I mean, there's nothing no nicer than going into a big final and your dog goes over the line in front, because, I mean, to be quite truthful, that's what gives me a buzz, I don't sometimes say too much when they win, but I have that buzz like, and it keeps me going really.
And there was no bigger buzz than back in April at Shawfield when Charlie's Fear Me took on the mighty Westmead Hawk in the final of the Scottish Derby.
There's a head down the far side. It's Fear Me by 3.5 lengths here. Malbane Nikita moves up into second on the outside of Ballymac Nylock. Then comes Westmead Hawk back in 4th, but a lot to do. They come round the final bend, and it's still Fear Me the leader. Westmead Hawk got a lovely run on the second last bend. He's off in chase. Fear Me from Westmead Hawk. Fear Me and Westmead Hawk. Fear Me by a neck from Westmead Hawk. What a race!
Since that brilliant victory, Fear Me has had an injury-blighted year. He reached the quarter-finals of the English Derby, but has had only 5 races since.
He's doing everything well up the gallop. He's flying up the gallop, and I think he's 100% now.
Would he be aimed at the Scottish Derby once again?
Oh yeah, I mean he'll only be, you know, kind of 3-year-old, so I mean he should be in his prime this next year.
Another of Charlie's stars has been GEORDIE Parker, who we last saw digging deep to deny Droopy's Toby in the All England Cup final at Brough Park. Owned by breeder Jimmy Fennick and former Rangers footballer Scott Fraser, GEORDIE Parker has impressed Lister in the last few months.
He's really, you know, really starting to do his running now. The dog, he's staying on well. He's trapping well. Very good dog. I mean, he's definitely a Derby class dog, you know.
And a special place in your heart, winning at Yarmouth, I should imagine.
Yeah, that was lovely. Yeah, it was nice to win at Yarmouth. I mean, it's one of my favourite tracks, and well, I've won it 8 times, so I don't think that one will be broke for a long while.
Now, I remember Carly Philpott and Darren Keefe, you know, very optimistic about 2007 Derby chances for Fair Haribo. Did he impress you when you saw him?
Yeah, I've seen him run a few times, and you know, I was always impressed by the dog because, you know, I think he's a very good dog. He's got the early pace, and you know, he seems to get the trip all right. So, you know, there's no reason why he shouldn't make into a Scottish Derby dog and an English Derby dog, and that's the plan. That's the plan for him. That's why I haven't run him, you know.
And of course, Charlie denied Fair Haribo's previous trainer Carly Philpott when he trained Clash Harmonica to win the William Hill Laurels at Bellevue in October.
It's Clash Harmonica on the inside, is forced to check. Fantasy Tiger now goes on for 3. Dalcash Sweet Tea in second. Then comes 1 Clash Harmonica. Fair Haribo's up in the 4th, but it's got no chance surely to come round the 3rd bend. It's still 2 Dalcash, Fantasy Tiger and Dalcash Sweet Tea. Here comes Clash Harmonica on the outside. Fair Haribo's trying to join in. Clash Harmonica's coming, and he's got there.
That gutsy display was followed by an unbeaten run through the Betfair Eclipse at Nottingham, where he beat Broadacre's Rob and kennelmate Zigzag Dutchy in the final. And this year he's also landed the Napoleon's Invitation at Sheffield.
Well, he has surprised me a bit because I bought him for the Leicester boys, and I bought him myself, and somebody who had seen him trial told me about him, and they thought he was a right good pup, and I bought him, and he was very green at the first because he'd only had 1 race, and he was a bit green. He was a bit green when he were going into corners and things like that, and he was feeling his way around them. But now he's got used to it, and he comes round the outside of them, or he goes in the inside of them. You know, he does surprise me for his speed because he's a very small dog. He's more like a little bitch, but the pace, you know, his middle pace is really unbelievable, really, and he gets the trip very strong. So, no, I think he's a very, very good dog.
After Westmead Hawk's 2 brilliant Derby victories, Nick Sava is rivalling Charlie's position as the Derby King. Sava has now won 3 English Derbies compared to Charlie's 4, and there is plenty of respect for the top British breeder and trainer from the Newark Maestro.
I mean, Nick's a very good trainer. Well, I think he's the best breeder what we've ever had, isn't he, really? And I mean, he's a very good dog man, so you can't take his record away from him, you know.
And the pair of you always strike me as slightly Arsene Wenger and Alex Ferguson. Huge respect between the pair of you, but you're unlikely to be sharing a glass of wine, I always feel. But equally, you've got plans to perhaps you know, buy a holiday home in Cyprus. Do you think you'll ever be sharing a glass of ouzo over there?
Well, we might do, yeah. Yeah, we might do. I mean, I've known Nick for years, and Nick's known me, but I think Nick in a way is a bit like myself. He's a bit laid back, and he doesn't push himself onto people. And I mean, I'm a bit that way myself. I'm not one for pushing in on things and doing, and I think Nick's a bit the same. And, you know, I mean, when I see Nick, we speak and talk, but, you know, I mean, we're not fussing around each other. I mean, we're not that way inclined, you know what I mean? But no, I mean, I get on well with Nick, and I think Nick's a nice chap, and I think he's a very good trainer, like, you know.
Of course, yourself and Nick are, how do I say, politely pushing on a bit. Is there anything left for the younger trainers?
Well, yeah, I think there is. I mean, you know, I mean, you want young blood coming into the game, don't you? Really, you know, there's not too many young ones in it, but no, you've got to have them in the game. And I mean, you know, I mean, there's quite a few young ones at the moment. What's coming through, and they're doing pretty well. You know, I mean, you've got Mark Wallace and you know, people like Carly, and you know, it's nice to see young ones come in the game and do well, because you know, as it goes on, I mean, the old ones will be going out and there'll be no one to take it on like.
And it might be a few years yet, but Chris Akers, your head man, would fall into that sort of category. You think he's up to the job?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think he's up to it. I think he's a good lad. He's been with me quite a while now, and I mean, if he doesn't know anything about dogs and what I do with him now, he'll never know. But I think he's good. I think he knows what he's doing. I've tried to learn all the lads what's been here. Some you can learn, some you can't. But you can learn, Chris. I mean, Mike Harris was another one at Monmore. Mike was with me for 6 years. I learned him as much as I could, and I mean, he's got a good contract now at Monmore, and he gets plenty of winners, you know. So it's nice to see people like what's worked for you come through, and you know, you're pleased for him, aren't you? You know.
Rightly proud of his protégés, Charlie has no immediate plans of hanging up his lead, and with one of his strongest collection of dogs ever, 2007 looks like being another vintage year for one of the sport's greatest ever trainers.
The champagne will be flowing and everyone will be suited and booted for the BGRB 2006 Awards Night, staged this year at the Royal Lancaster Hotel in London. For more information on this great night out, contact Lauren Duffield on 0207 292 9900. Be sure you don't miss this wonderful evening as we celebrate the very best of 2006. A glance at the open race calendar, just Perry Bar with opens on Thursday and no open racing on Friday. Saturday sees the Arnie Dennis Memorial Puppy Trophy Final at Sheffield. No opens on New Year's Eve, whilst Henlow and Reading welcome in the new year on Monday. So it's quiet on the open race scene, but there's plenty of good graded racing on offer, and you can find out which tracks are racing by going to thedogs.co.uk, our website, and catch up with all the results as well. Next week, more from Charlie Lister and a New Year's message from Lord Lipsey. Join us then.
The Dogs, in association with the British Greyhound Racing Board.